Mike Waltz cornered the Secret Service director fast.
Okay, you continue to answer that very carefully.
After the first attempt on Trump's life last year, the House held a hearing to get answers from Director Cheatle, but she kept giving vague answers and constant deflections.
Now we have 9 days later before a congressional committee. We all represent almost 1 million people, and you still don't have answers.
And today, we're covering it all. By the way, we just launched this channel, and we'll focus solely on debates. So, if you believe truth isn't partisan, hit that subscribe button, and let's jump right into it.
Madam Director, please, I'd like to direct your attention to this video.
This has popped up. Republican Congressman Mike Waltz, he said on social media on Saturday, and I'm going to read this for you because it does talk about you, Secretary. I have very reliable sources telling me that there have been repeated requests for stronger Secret Service protection for President Trump denied by Secretary Mayorkas. Your department has already pushed back on that, calling that absolutely false, but he is putting this on you. Can you respond to that, please?
Well, that's a baseless and irresponsible statement, and is one that is unequivocally false.
Director Cheatle, did you speak with your boss, Secretary Mayorkas? You fall under DHS. Did you speak with him on the 14th, the day after?
Yes, I did.
So you spoke with him before he made that statement?
I spoke with him immediately following the incident.
Did you inform him that all requests for additional resources for President Trump had been fulfilled? Or that it was false to say they had been denied?
I informed him that the request for that rally that day had been fulfilled.
In fact, several requests went unanswered in the lead up to the attempt on Trump's life, and we have multiple congressional reports to prove that. According to the Washington Post, agents charged with protecting Trump requested magnetometers and more agents to screen attendees at these large public gatherings that he attended. But those requests were denied by senior officials at the agency, who cited various reasons, including a lack of resources and personnel. More recently, the Senate Homeland Security Committee released its own report, and Rand Paul, who chairs the committee, accused Cheatle of falsely testifying to Congress and pointed to a cultural cover-up within the Secret Service. With all of that in mind, let's see how the former director tried to deflect.
Okay, you continue to answer that very carefully, because I made a broader statement. The agents that came to me made a broader statement that his permanent protective detail for years now have been asking for more. Is that correct?
I do not have specific incidents of those requests.
Is it correct that they've been asking for more?
I have heard the same reports that you have. Without having them in front of me, I am unable.
Those requests are made in writing. I mean, the agents are telling me they make them in writing. This isn't a verbal agency. Things are made in writing.
I understand what you're saying. I don't have those requests in front of me here.
I'm not asking if you have them in front of you. Are you aware that they were made?
As I said earlier, there are times when requests are made, and depending on the availability of assets, or if there is a way that
So there were times when they were denied?
If there is a way that vulnerability can be mitigated in a different way, then that is why
So there are times when they were denied, for a variety of reasons.
That is why the Secret Service has a multi-layered and multifaceted security plan.
It's wild watching her pretend to be some kind of outsider, talking about reports and requests as if she weren't the person running the agency at the time. And we know those multi-layered plans, as she keeps mentioning, were nowhere near enough. You see, because of shortages in personnel, the Secret Service had to lean on local law enforcement to fill the gaps, which caused a complete breakdown in communication. Even ProPublica, which leans left, described the setup as a cobbled combination of radio command centers and cell phones. They also reported that when the local sniper spotted Crooks and texted his unit, other officers had to relay that information back to local command, who then told the state police, who then told the Secret Service, and still never reached the people who could actually act on it. But despite all those facts, Kimberly stuck to her non-answers, even when presented with hard evidence.
Then we have your spokesman. Did you sign off on this statement? That there's an assertion that a member of the former president's team requested additional security resources and those were rebuffed? This is absolutely false. In fact, we added protective resources and technology and capability as part of the increased campaign travel tempo. Next slide, please, staff. We have the Washington Post article that then says we now have senior Secret Service officials saying there were at times when it was denied. So which is it?
Again, there have been a number of conversations going on here.
Did you sign off on that spokesman's statement?
The spokesman's statement, I believe, was related to requests that were made.
Did you sign off on it?
For the requests that were made at the rally.
Did you sign off on the statement before it went out? I sign off on my press spokesman's statement before they go out. I would hope you would in the wake of an assassination attempt.
Yes.
You did. Categorically false that any requests were made. You signed off on it.
Even to this very day, Kimberly is still playing the same deflection games. In July of this year, she released a statement insisting that there were no failures on her part. There were also shortcomings within our own intelligence agencies. And those are ongoing, as we still know next to nothing about Crooks, his motives, whether he acted alone, or what the reasons were behind his attempt. Nothing. In fact, we learned more from Tucker Carlson's video on Crooks' online footprint than we've heard from Cash, Bondi, their predecessors, or any of the congressional reports we mentioned. Mike raised that exact point during the hearing and highlighted how dangerous this level of secrecy is. So let's hear what he had to say.
How many press conferences have you held, gone to the mic, taken questions from the public, from the media? How many?
I have not held any.
How many has Secretary Mayorkas held?
I don't.
0. How many has the FBI held? 0. This is how misinformation flies. I mean, in the darkness, in the absence of information. Now we have 9 days later before a congressional committee, we all represent almost 1 million people, and you still don't have answers. Are you aware that national news anchors are saying this was a hoax? On national television, they're saying, no, the president wasn't shot, it was flying glass. Are you aware of that?
I have not heard those reports.
Are you aware that because the shooter had overseas encrypted platforms in Belgium and New Zealand and in Germany, that a lot of people are speculating there could have been foreign involvement, logically? Are you aware of that?
Yes.
And have you done anything to disabuse any of these notions today? No. You haven't. Madam Director, I would fire you. Regardless of the failure, I would fire you just how you've handled it since.
This same level of scrutiny should apply to the officials in charge right now, because we're seeing almost no effort towards transparency. After Tucker released his report on Crooks, Cash suddenly posted on X like he was being pushed to address it, and his explanation was full of contradictions. Getting real answers should be a top priority. It's the only way to understand what led to the attack, why the warnings were missed, and how to prevent anything similar from happening again to any candidate, whether they're a Democrat or a Republican. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the story. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember, keep thinking.